Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I am Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 8th of July. Prime Minister Modi thanks South Africa for supporting India's NSG membership bid. Bangladesh Prime Minister urges parents to inform authorities about missing children. And film festival highlighting environmental concerns begins in India's northern Shimla. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi reached South Africa on the second leg of his four-nation Africa tour on Friday. He thanked the African nation for supporting India's bid to secure membership in the 48-member nuclear suppliers group.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was accorded Guard of Honour at the official residence of South African President Jacob Zuma in Pretoria on Friday. In a joint statement, the Indian Prime Minister spoke about strengthening the strategic partnership between the two countries and expanding business and investment ties. He reinforced the need to work closely on international issues and emerging global challenges.
President Zuma and I also agreed on the need to work more closely on international issues and emerging global challenges. I thank the President for South Africa's support to India's membership of the Nuclear Suppliers Group.
Prime Minister Modi also expressed concern on the issue of climate change and the need to address the challenge through use of renewable energy. Later, he will visit the Nelson Mandela Foundation and address the Indian community. The Indian Prime Minister is on a four-nation Africa tour to strengthen ties with its African partners.
Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia has arrested 12 Pakistani nationals among 19 people in connection with the attacks in 3 of its major cities early this week. The government, however, has not given details about the arrestees. This comes days after the suicide bomber who detonated himself near United States Consulate in Jeddah on July 4 was identified as a 35-year-old Pakistani national, Abdullah Kalzar Khan, who was a driver by profession and had been living with his family in Jeddah for 12 years. 2 Saudi security officers were wounded in the Jeddah attack. A total of 7 people have lost their lives in the 3 attacks on Monday, including an attack near Prophet Muhammad Mosque in Islam's holy city of Medina. Staying on news from Pakistan, glaciers in Gilgit-Baltistan are melting rapidly due to the imbalances in the fragile ecosystem of the region. Environment degradation has added to the woes of the locals who are already struggling with problems of poverty and unemployment.
The threat of floods looms large in Gilgit-Baltistan as the rising temperatures have intensified the melting of glaciers in the illegally occupied region. Environmentalists believe that the melting of glaciers is the result of unchecked deforestation because of the presence of an active timber mafia in the region.
तो ये मल्टिंग का जो सिलसिला है इसको कम से कम करने के लिए एक तो जो इंटरनेशनल जो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग जो है इसको मिनिमाइज करने की ज़रूरत है। उसके अलावा जो हमारा लोकल एनवायरनमेंट है जिसमें हमारे जंगलात है, फॉरेस्ट है, उसकी कटिंग को कम से कम, और फिर यहाँ पे जो ईंधन के लिए हम जो लकड़ी का इस्तेमाल करते हैं उससे चूँकि कार्बन जो है वो बहुत, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा मिकदार में
Gilgit-Baltistan has the largest concentration of glaciers with the 3 great mountain ranges of Karakoram, Himalayas and Hindu Kush. Over the years, they are melting down rapidly, causing floods in the rivers and tributaries which often pose threat to the lives and property of the people.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has urged member countries to continue a non-combat military presence in Afghanistan. This comes even as the country witnesses a surge in Taliban violence, leaving the Afghan security forces vulnerable.
Polish press agency.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has urged allies to continue a non-combat military presence in war-torn Afghanistan and funding for its security forces on the opening day of the NATO summit in Warsaw on Friday. He said that the government should reaffirm political partnership and cooperation with Afghanistan and once again prevent the country from becoming a safe haven for international terrorists.
I expect heads of state and government to make three important decisions on Afghanistan. First, to continue our military presence, not with combat forces, but with a train, assist and advise mission. So we will continue to train, assist and advise the Afghan National Army and Security Forces. Second, I expect them to make decisions on continued funding of the national Afghan forces. And thirdly, I expect the heads of state and government also to reconfirm our long-term political partnership cooperation with Afghanistan.
Taliban forces now hold more territory in Afghanistan than at any time since the 2001 US-led invasion, according to recent UN estimates. This also comes at a time when the Islamic State is trying to establish itself in the country. On Wednesday, American President Barack Obama shelved his plans to cut the US force nearly in half by year's end, from 9,800 to 5,500, opting for a more limited withdrawal to roughly 8,400 troops.
Moving on to news from Bangladesh. Amid increasing fear among residents in the wake of recent terror attacks, the Sheikh Hasina-led government has urged the citizens of the country to report about their children if they have gone missing.
Security has been tightened in the street of Dhaka after the recent militant attacks in Bangladesh. But a sense of fear still prevails among the residents who are afraid to venture out in public area.
সবার মধ্যেই ভয় থাকবে কারণ জঙ্গি হামলা কোথায় হয় যেখানটায় মানুষের ভিড় হয় ওইসব জায়গাতেই জঙ্গি হামলা হয় যেমন শপিং মল রেস্টুরেন্ট ইয়ানি পার্ক এসব এলাকায় রীতিমতো একটা ভয় আছে তারপরও কি পরিবারের খুশি এর থেকে তো বড় কিছু হতেই পারে না তাই বেরিয়ে পড়লাম
The United States has also issued a fresh travel alert and has asked its citizens in Bangladesh to take stringent security measures, remain vigilant and be alert to local security developments. Meanwhile, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has urged the parents and guardians to inform the law enforcement agencies in case of any of their college or university going child has gone missing. Hasina's request come as the country has witnessed 2 terror attacks within a week, which were carried out by assailants who were in their 20s and most of them were college-going students who went missing. She has also assured that the government would extend all possible support, including technological help, to trace the missing youth and bring them back home. At least 3 of the militants who killed 2 policemen and 20 civilians, mostly foreigners, in Holy Artisan Cafe attack in Dhaka belonged to affluent families and were studying in renowned universities before they went missing.
Pineapples are a juicy delight and provide respite in the scorching summer heat. A pineapple fair cum sale event in India's northeast is providing several variants of the fruit for people to rejoice.
The rich flavor of pineapples grown in India's northeastern province of Manipur is a thing to die for. This was evident as large number of fruit lovers thronged the 9th edition of the annual Pineapple Festival in Manipur's capital Imphal. The event is being organized to showcase different varieties of pineapples and boost the sale of the fruit. It gives farmers the opportunity to directly engage with the buyers.
ꯃꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯆꯍꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯨꯄꯥ ꯂꯥꯛ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯁꯥꯏ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯅꯣꯡ ꯇꯥꯔꯒ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯥ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ ꯅꯣꯡꯃꯨꯛ ꯇꯥꯔꯒ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯥ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯁꯥꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯥꯔꯩ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯣꯏ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯅꯨꯡꯁꯥꯔꯩ ꯆꯨꯕꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯧꯃꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯋꯥꯡꯉꯦꯕ.
The climatic condition of Manipur is suitable for horticulture products which are known not only in India but across the world.
A film festival based on environmental issues was organized in India's northern Himachal Pradesh province. The three-day festival saw participation of both domestic and foreign tourists.
The three-day Woodpecker Environment and Wildlife Film Festival began in India's northern Himachal Pradesh province. 45 films, including short and animated by Indian and international filmmakers, will be screened during the course of event in Shimla city. School children from the city along with tourists attended the festival.
The main objective of the festival is to create awareness on environmental and wildlife issues, particularly among the younger generation. So in our festival, you will find a lot of school students and college students participating. In fact, we have invited almost all schools from Shimla and adjoining areas to participate in this festival. And through the medium of films, we want to educate them, inform them, and make them aware about the current environmental and wildlife issues in the city and in the country.
The festival is aimed at focusing on environment and wildlife conservation issues like climate change, forest conservation, biodiversity, and man-animal conflict.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Prime Minister Modi thanks South Africa for supporting India's NSG membership bid. Bangladesh Prime Minister urges parents to inform authorities about missing children. And film festival highlighting environmental concerns begins in India's northern Shimla. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.